Fernand Fackrell was my grandfather, and his father was David Bancroft Fackrell. And David Bancroft was the storekeeper in the United Order. And both my grandmother Eliza and Fernand lived in the United Order until it was shut down by the church. But one of the stories that Eliza told me about Fernand was that they worked in the sheep, and his father would go to either Nephi or Salt Lake to trade what they had grown and made, and then they would buy the supplies that they needed. So, unbeknownst to his father, Fernand had sheared the tails of the sheep, and he had a bag of wool. And they went to Nephi, and he traded that bag of wool for a pair of store-bought pants. And when he got back to Orderville, they were having a dance, and he put these store-bought pants on and strutted out across the dance floor. And his wife, Eliza, Grandma Fackrell, said a girl ran out on the dance floor, put her arms around his neck, and kissed him right on the lips. And when that, I've seen records of that story, and they have somebody else as that person, but I kind of believe that it was Fernand, because his father went in where they had store-bought pants, and he had access to the sheep, and it's just the kind of thing he would do. Some people said he was just like Butch Cassidy, tough guy. When they'd have contests with the Indian boys, wrestling and racing and everything, Fernand was the one that could win whatever they were doing. And he became hired as deputy sheriff in Blackfoot for several years, and then he worked for the Idaho State Prison, and he'd sit up on the wall. If anybody tried to escape, he would shoot them. He said, I had a big gun and I knew how to use it. And he could play poker. I'd play poker with him. He'd keep my money too. So it sharpened my game quite a bit. I didn't have much money, but I liked Grandpa. There was one time when a desperado in the Blackfoot jail escaped, and he ran down along the Blackfoot River, and Grandpa was sitting in the train depot ready to go back to his job in Boise, Idaho, where Idaho State Prison is. And the sheriff came over and said, Fernand, go catch that guy. My back hurts. I can't do it. Grandpa said his back always hurt if there was a dangerous part of his job. And so Grandpa chased him, two of them, and the one guy started to escape, and Grandpa shot him, didn't kill him, just wounded him. And then the other guy shot Grandpa in the leg, just about knee. And so he had an artificial limb all of his life. And all it was is just a pole, a wooden pole that they cut the right height. And so he didn't walk very good. But he would always have these stories about an Indian shot him or something like that. And he would shock everybody by taking a pocket knife and jabbing it where his leg was into that wooden leg. I liked him. He's a good guy. Had quite a few stories to tell that weren't church approved. So that's Grandpa
Fernand.
Grandpa Fernand Fackrell.
Great.